Hi, my name is Mark Winkle. This is Real Money from Pocket Change, the video channel as well as iTunes podcast. And I'm going to talk to you today about exercise equipment. I've put this off and put this off. It's like everyone else getting into exercise, going into spring, and coming off of a back and forth winter where it's cold one day and 70 degrees the next, and then we get snow and then ice. And living here in Ohio, you got to kind of roll with the punches. You take the ice with the snow with the 60-degree temperatures in between. So, been a lot of cold and flu and aches and pains and all of that. So, getting podcasts done has been kind of frustrating because obviously right now I still have a head cold. So if I sound kind of clogged up, sorry about that. Don't blame me, blame God. So, exercise equipment. I was out yesterday, 2 days ago, and walked 4 to 5 miles and came back. I wasn't that hurting. I was hurting somewhat the next day and a little bit more the next day. So, but I'm not hurting today, and I'll go back out walking again tomorrow. What I do is I don't use a lot of exercise equipment to get in shape. When I got off the road delivering trucks in late 2009, from then I was 370 pounds. Right now I'm 270 pounds. I lost 100 pounds in the first year, and I've kept it off. And I actually wrote a short book, it's like 37 pages, called Get Your Lazy Buns Off of That Couch. And if you go to my blog, realmoneyfrompocketchange.blogspot.com, I will post a copy of that entire book that you can download for free. Now, I've got a neighbor who's, I'm not going to mention their name, but they're relatively cheap, and she's like, well, can you just give me a copy of all your books? Because I really don't want to have to pay for them. Well, if I was in her shoes, I wouldn't have wanted to pay for it either. So I'm going to do her a favor as well as the rest of the world a favor, and I am going to give you this book. It's normally $9-10, but I will do you this favor to help you get your lazy buns off of that couch. Get into shape, get your blood sugar down, your heart rate down, and decrease your cholesterol, everything else. There's no diets involved. Diets don't work. Okay, I don't care what doctors say, diets don't work. The only thing that works to help you lose weight is to increase your activity to burn calories and to reduce your food intake. Now, I try to consume less than 1,700 calories a day. Some days I consume more, some days I consume way less. So I cut out breakfast. They say, oh, breakfast is the best meal of the day. Well, unfortunately, with all of the corn syrup added to all of your cereals nowadays, it's become one of the worst meals of the day. Because with the additive of corn syrup, I mean, have you seen how small the portions are for 280 to 450 calories? Come on, 1 ounce? I mean, that's like a handful of cereal. By the time you get orange juice or eggs or anything else, or even add milk to the cereal, you are, you know, a reasonably sized small bowl, 900 calories. So I have cut way back on what I used to eat. I used to eat 2 to 3 foot-long submarine sandwiches at truck stops, and buy a 2 liter of Coke or Pepsi or other soft drink or iced tea to drive down the road to keep awake. I was driving 3,000 to 4,000 miles a week, and absolute essential for me, as well as other people on the road, for me to keep the truck on the road and keep myself alive as well as them. So let's go on to exercise equipment. Now, exercise equipment is fine. I mean, if it's a bicycle, if it's a skateboard, if it's a stationary bike, if it's a ski multi-body exercise unit that costs you less than $200. Personally, I would never spend more than $300 for a piece of exercise equipment, because 8 to 9 months out of the year, when you lose the initiative to exercise indoors, that is a glorified clothes rack. I don't care if you spent $200 or $9,700. It's a glorified clothes rack. Gym memberships are near an all-time low, because one, you have to get dressed, drive to the place, and they have gone down from paid memberships to like $10 per visit. Well, if you only visit 2 to 3 times a week, then it's still $120 a month, $1,440 a year. Well, most people, they figured out that most people will only visit 8 to 20 times a year. So why sell them an annual membership? Now, before you start your exercise program, I want to give you the opportunity to get a free copy of my book. Get your lazy buns off of that couch and go to my website after you watch this video or listen to this podcast, and just cut and paste it. I have no problems with it. I own the copyright. I wrote it. I went from 370 pounds to 270 pounds using this method, and I've kept it off. I weighed myself 3 days ago. I was 270 pounds going into this winter. I'm 270 pounds coming out of this winter. I will lose more weight as the year goes on. Last year I did achieve 252 pounds. And then, winter weather took over again, and I went through that whole cycle again. So every spring to fall I lose weight. Winter I gain on average 20 to 30 pounds. I take it back off coming out of winter, and I start all over again. This is the hibernation process here in Ohio, as well as other cold climates. When I lived in Florida, it was 80 degrees by 11 o'clock in the morning, and you lost 2 to 3 pounds every day of water, because you just sweat so much getting in and out of the car and in and out of the house. I didn't use air conditioning down there, and I must have lost 40 pounds in 9 months. So I want you to look at 2 other websites, but let me back up. After you hear this podcast, and I mean after you've listened to the full podcast, don't do it right now. Go to realmoneyfrompocketchange.blogspot.com, and I will have posted a free copy of a book that I wrote detailing how anyone of any weight, up to 800-900 pounds even, can safely, slowly, stably lose weight gradually and keep it off. Now, this is a low impact exercise process. Slow, gradual weight reduction. This takes time, this takes effort. I lost 100 pounds over the period of a year. I have kept it off over the last 2 years. So don't rush into this or buy these fad diets and say, oh, you can lose 20, 30 pounds, or buy these junk tablets and all of this other stuff. They don't work. Diets don't work. The only thing that works to help you lose weight is to get your lazy buns off of the couch, out in front of the television, and get more active. Whether you're bedridden, handicapped, whatever, you can lose weight. So I went step by step. This is what I did. This is what I got out of my house. This is what I got rid of. This is what I cut back on. And I guarantee you, it works. I've kept it off doing the same thing. So, real money from pocketchange.blogspot.com. Two other websites I want you to look at is the American Heart Association and startwalkingnow.org. Now, I looked at hundreds of websites to recommend to you about a walking and slow impact exercise program. Now, running has the potential to sideline you by causing joint and tendon damage if you overdo it. Walking does not. Walking is low impact, does not require a long warm-up period, does not require a long cooling down period, and the only thing that you have to remember is that the farther that you walk, the farther you have to walk back. So let me get on with the reason that I want you to cut back on your exercise equipment purchases. Get your lazy buns off of the couch. Get outside, exercise. If you can't get outside, still exercise. Cut back on all junk food and soda pop and everything else that is causing you health problems. So, according to the World Health Organization, the top 10 leading risk factors for all income groups. And there is a new study that's presently underway that they're compiling the data. The top 10 leading risk factors for death as of 2004, the last worldwide survey. 1, high blood pressure. Number 2, tobacco use of any kind. Number 3, high blood glucose, which is diabetes. Number 4, physical inactivity. Oh, not exercising can kill you. Amazing, isn't it? Number 5, overweight and obesity as a result of number 4. Number 6, high cholesterol. Number 7, unsafe sex. Number 8, alcohol use. Number 9, child underweight. Number 10, indoor smoke from solid fuels, such as kerosene heaters, and if you have your wigwam or your tent outside and you have a fire inside, and you could die from asphyxiation. Doesn't happen that often, but I guarantee it does. The source for that is the World Health Organization, 2009 Global Health Risks and Mortality and Burden of Disease, attributable to selected major risks. So, in the United States and Europe, tobacco kills 18% of the people. Tobacco and tobacco-related illnesses. High blood pressure kills 17%. Overweight and obesity, 8.4%. Physical inactivity, 7.7%. High blood sugar, 7%. High cholesterol, 5.8%. So 45.7% of the people in the United States and Europe die from lack of proper diet and exercise. Now, I'm not an exercise guru, and I'm a simple, common financial, environmental, legal research consultant that is doing this podcast and video series to help other people out of the goodness of my heart. And maybe 20, 30 years down the road, I'll, finally get a commercial contract or something. My whole motivation here is to help you help yourself. And if you're not going to help yourself, then you're beyond help. No one else will help you lose weight. Now, I did email the council out in California that is basically a nonprofit organization that evaluates a lot of high-priced exercise equipment and gives them ratings. I emailed them back in January telling them, I'm going to be doing this podcast on exercise equipment. I'd like your input. And they didn't get back with me. They, in fact, didn't even respond to my inquiry. So I have to assume that I was accurate when I made this statement to them that the price of exercise equipment is irrelevant as to the amount of calories that you actually lose and the benefit of more expensive pieces of equipment. So I would recommend that if you're looking at a piece of exercise equipment that you're going to have to take a loan out on or make monthly payments on, that you stop. Think, how expensive of a clothes rack do you need sitting in your bedroom or in your basement? Most of these turn out to be pieces of furniture that you hang your clothes on 7 to 10 months out of the year. You get tired, you get bored of exercising by yourself, and you stop doing it, and then it's a clothes rack. So, if you spent more than $300 on your piece of exercise equipment, do yourself a favor, sell that piece of expensive clothes rack, and get your lazy buns off of the couch. Get out, go for a walk. I don't care if you live in the city. Exposure to the elements outside, including other strange people, is good for your health, is good for your heart, is good for your mind, is good for your reactions. It will build your survival instincts, which you will need, because in the end, the person that you have to rely on to help you lose weight looks back at you in the mirror every day. No one else can help you lose weight. You can have a friend work with you, but if the friend quits, are you going to quit? Are you really willing to go it by yourself? Because that's what it takes, is the initiative and the follow through and the determination to get out there, do what it takes to improve yourself, regardless of what other people say, what other people think, and what other people do. I want you to do this for yourself, because in the long run, you are going to be the one that benefits from it. So you should be the one doing the pain and suffering, because you're the ones going to be getting the benefit out of it. So get your lazy buns off of that couch. Download my book. It's short. In fact, on the last page, I tell you I could have made this book a lot longer, but you'd still be reading it instead of getting your lazy buns off of that couch. Now, I'm not going to make any money off of this. I want you to download, cut, paste this entire book. And if you really want to pay for it, you can go to Google Books and buy a copy. But I am going to post this on my website, realmoneyfromppocketchange.blogspot.com, free of charge. Also, if you go to winklepublishing.blogspot.com, I will have another copy there as well. I do consulting for the European Union and in their financial crisis. So do yourself a favor. Watch both ways. Walk slowly across the street onto the nearest bike path. And walk yourself into smaller size clothes. I used to wear an XXXL. Now I am down to larges and extra larges depending on the style. I used to wear size 46 pants. Now I wear size 40. And I have for the last 2 years. So get on with it. Get on with your life. Get on with losing the weight. Get off those diets and all of that, weighing calories and all of that stuff. Because the only way you're going to lose weight and keep it off is a lifestyle and an attitude change. And I'm giving you that opportunity for free. So go to my website, realmoneyfromppocketchange.blogspot.com, and the posting will be free book. That's free book. And go to that post, cut and paste the entire post. It will be 37 pages long. Download it, cut and paste it, put it on a Word document, PDF, however you want. It's free from me to you. I hope you lose a lot of weight safely, soundly, stably, gradually, and keep it off. This is Mark Winkle with Real Money from Pocket Change. Until next time, goodbye.